it's me again. So, basically, I'm not going to be showing this tank off. This is just my Betta's tank, or bowl, whatever. Where I'm going to try and show you how I do a water change on it. This is actually the first time that I've done a water change on this particular tank. Because I just changed him out to this bowl not very long ago, but I'm going to try and stick with the methods that I have used on the tank that he used to be in. I know it's a really close-up video, but I'll try and keep things in shot and stuff. I really haven't get over it right now how it's set up, because it's on a box and his fish food is holding it up. So yeah, we'll see how this disaster works out. But anyways, let's get started. So first, I'm gonna go ahead and lift up his light and take this piece of glass off that I have just on the top, because Bettas are pretty good at jumping, and I don't like a lot of evaporation happening, so try to avoid that as much as I can. Then I just have this, it's a 1 gallon bucket here that I'm going to put over here somewhere. And I'm just going to go ahead and grab my siphoning thing here, which I don't know how well I'm going to be able to show you what it is. Basically, it's just this cheap siphon pump that I bought from Walmart or something like that. It has a long hose on it, and this is what I'm going to use to siphon out the water and do the vacuuming. I usually do vacuuming pretty much on every water change that I do, at least just a little bit. Just because I like to get some of the debris. Then I have the end of a syringe without the stopper piece in it. This is what I'm actually going to use as the vacuum. It's kind of like a miniature little vacuum. So I'm going to take that syringe and I'm going to put the piece of hose on it so it's connected like that. And I'm just going to put the bucket on the ground, put the other end in it, stick this piece in the water, and then basically you just take this end, put your finger over it, give this part a squeeze, and then let go of the bulb, put it back in there, and it should start the siphon. So now I'm just going to go around and pick up little bits of debris. This tank has Eco Complete in it, which is something that I just actually changed over to using. This is the first time that I've really experienced using Eco Complete. So I'm not really sure what to say about how I feel about it right now. Truthfully, I haven't noticed a whole lot of difference with the growth in my plants yet. I think it takes a little bit of time to show some differences in it and stuff, but so far it hasn't done that much. And I'm getting it stuck all the way in the top of the siphon, which is probably reducing the flow a bit. Trying not to scare Blue too much. I'm completely just messing things up as I do this too. What I will say though is that Eco Complete has been one tank that I've actually had so far that has continued to grow a certain plant in here that I've been having trouble with, and other tanks staying growing decently. And that's been some hydroconal tapiarda, I think it is. It's like a form of dwarf pennywort. And it's actually been growing leaves for once for me and keeping the leaves on the plant. So I'm happy about that. I hope that it does better. The plant or the light that I have on this tank was from my Pixabay tank, and I'm not sure how well it's really doing. Anyways, I'm going to go ahead and unplug my filter, which is like a Tom mini dive mini filter that I have running in this tank. I'm just going to pop the power head part of it off. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it apart and kind of clean out the sponge part in the old tank water. As you might hear in a lot of other fish keeping videos, you don't want to rinse your filter media out with tap water or anything. You want to use the old water that was in the tank, because there's something called beneficial bacteria on your filter media and everything, and just in the tank in general, and it's what keeps the tank balanced and not toxic to your fish. A lot of people don't know about it. It's not common knowledge. When you go into fish stores, I wish that they would, but they don't tell people about that stuff. They basically just let it be. And if you kill your fish, well, then that's just too bad. You'll have to come back and buy more, I guess, is their plan. But you need it to keep your tank going right, because it consumes ammonia, which is really toxic to fish, that they create from breathing and just amongst other things, their waste that they produce. So it's really a necessary part to have in your tank if you want to keep your fish alive for a long period of time. So I've now cleaned out the filter pretty well. I haven't squeezed out all of it because I do want to keep some beneficial bacteria on there. So yeah, it still looks a little nasty, but it's a lot better than what it was. I'm just going to put it back in its little holder here. And then I'm going to put the other piece back on top. And I'm just letting it drain water. I'm not vacuuming anymore. I'm just letting it drain water while I do this, so that I can still get a water change out of it and get some of those nitrates and stuff out of the water, so that I can put fresh water in that doesn't have nearly as many nitrates and stuff. Which the plants like nitrates, but it's still not good for your fish for it to be really elevated. So we try and get that out with a bit of water changes. I'm just going to stick the filter back in here. It doesn't really stay because the sides of this glass are all curved. I'm probably going to change the filter out to something else. I'm probably just going to let that go a little bit longer. It looks like it's getting kind of low, but I want to get a good water change out of it. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and probably call that good. And then I'm going to just go into my bathroom and dump this nasty water real quick. I'm going to go ahead and start running the hot water. So what I have here is just a temperature reader that I just got from Harbor Freight for like $10 or something. And what I do is I get the hot water running, let it kind of get as hot as it's going to get, and then I turn on the other side, kind of just walk away for a minute so that it can get really warm. And then I just turn the hot water down a bit until, once you do these so many times, you kind of get used to how low you have to turn the water. But you still should temperature check the water. And you're going to have to do it a couple times because the temperature is going to kind of fluctuate when you start adding cold water to it and stuff. So it's going to change. I'm going to go read the temperature on my tank right now. He's sitting at about 78.8, so almost 80 degrees. And this water is reading about 78. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and just start filling up my bucket. And you probably want to check the temperature in the bucket a couple times just to see if you need to adjust the water temperature any, if it's too cold or too hot or anything like that. So I'm going to do the same thing and take that other end and squeeze it. Let go. Put it in the tank and just let it go in there. Getting bubbles, all kinds of bubbles. It's gonna stop, and it's still not full. Yeah, so it's done. I'm probably gonna fill it up just a little bit fuller because I don't like how that looks really like that. And I'm probably gonna mess with the plants a little bit more. Bye for now.